California is the best at being the worst, especially for business. Politicians don't seem too concerned that millions of people have left California. As long as the tax revenue keeps flowing and the right people keep voting, they carry on. But when business after business after business leaves, politicians don't look beyond blaming the businesses themselves, as if they're committing the sin of wanting to pay lower taxes, or even make more money. In other words, be more successful. But they never ask why so many companies are willing to put a ton of time, effort, and money into uprooting themselves in the first place. For decades, California had every competitive advantage imaginable. It was home to Silicon Valley, Hollywood, world-class ports, agriculture, and it was one of the largest economies on Earth. And for a long time, companies were willing to tolerate the high taxes and the red tape because the opportunities that came with California were worth it. But that's just not true anymore. California has created one of the most burdensome regulatory environments in America. Businesses aren't just dealing with taxes, they're navigating tens of thousands of pages of regulations, endless permitting requirements, overlapping agencies, rising compliance costs, and a government that seems to believe that every single problem can be solved with just one more rule. Eventually, businesses just do the math, and a lot of them are choosing between moving or shutting down completely. That's why major companies like Tesla, Oracle, and HP have moved their headquarters. It's why CEO surveys consistently rank California among the worst states in the country for business. And it's why entrepreneurs are increasingly choosing other states where innovation is rewarded instead of buried under more paperwork. And it's not just about the private sector. Hollywood production companies are filming more and more and more movies outside of Hollywood because the economics simply make sense. And California's high costs and bureaucracy are undermining the very industry that helped define the state for generations. Even public services are taking a hit. The Chiquita Canyon landfill announced last year that it had to cease operations because of the state's regulatory environment. But the trash still has to go somewhere. Physician groups and specialists have stopped accepting medi-cal patients, but those patients still need doctors. Counties are being warned by ambulance providers that they might terminate contracts because of regulations that are squeezing them out. But people still need ambulances. And what about insurance companies who are not offering homeowner policies in California because the state won't use forest management practices that Native Americans understood centuries ago? And if your house did burn down, good luck getting the government's permission to build it again. This is about so much more than just high taxes in California. It's about California's philosophy of government that assumes every challenge requires another regulation, another permit, another review board, another layer of bureaucracy, and higher taxes. In that environment, everyone and everything has a tipping point. Businesses don't exist to spend their time satisfying bureaucrats. They exist to build products, provide services, create jobs, and invest in the future. So when California's government makes those goals unnecessarily difficult, to the point that it's not even worth it anymore, businesses are left with a choice. They can stay and struggle, they can shut down, or they can leave and succeed somewhere else. California is finding out that even the most desirable place in America can't overcome a government that keeps making it harder to actually do business. At this point, California has become an actual dumpster fire.